Today's top stories at NBR. DGL acquires Western Australian coolant manufacturer. Move Logistics applies to list on the ASX. 9-member RNZ TVNZ establishment board named. And there's more coming right up. Kia ora and welcome to NBR Today, 100% subscriber funded and proudly brought to you by you, as is every story at nbr.co.nz. It's Friday, April 22nd. I'm Paul Brennan. Thanks again for joining us. The former chair of NZX-listed Veritas Investments, now known as Good Spirits Hospitality, has joined the NZX-listed owner of second-hand car dealer Two Cheap Cars as an independent director. Tim Cook's appointment as an independent director at NZ Automotive Investments follows the sudden resignation earlier this month of the company's chair, Carl Smith, and independent director Michelle Kernahan. Kernahan's resignation was effective from April 8, while Smith's would take effect when a replacement independent director was appointed, the company said at the time. Director Charles Bolt took over as interim chair. DGL Group's acquisition spree has continued with the announcement it has acquired a Western Australian coolant manufacturer for $2.17 million in cash plus $300,000 in DGL shares. Simon Henry, chief executive of the NZX and ASX-listed specialty chemicals business, said the acquisition of Total Coolant Management Solutions Pty Limited would add to the company's mining product range. DGL's disclosure describes Total Coolants as a manufacturer and distributor of quality maintenance prevention products in the mining, marine, wind farm, power generation and agriculture sectors. Blue Sky meat suitor Andrew Lowe has agreed to pay around $46,900 in additional consideration for shares he acquired prior to a formal takeover offer made by him and Scott O'Donnell as Southern Lamb. The latter made an offer to buy Blue Sky on March 18th this year at $3 per share, but Lowe had already acquired 28,812 Blue Sky shares in 3 transactions on the unlisted securities exchange. That share purchase pushed Lowe and O'Donnell's combined shareholding in Blue Sky to around 35%, the takeovers panel noted in a statement today, Friday. Move Logistics has applied to list on the ASX as a foreign exempt entity, keeping the NZX as its primary listing. Formerly TNL Logistics, the freight and contract logistics operator's application is under review by the Australian Exchange and, if accepted, is expected to be dual listed by the end of May. In a statement to the NZX Friday morning, Move said the board believed this was a natural progression for the company to facilitate greater access to capital and provide alignment with its growing Australian investor base. Chair Lorraine Whitten said Move remained committed to its New Zealand shareholder base and intended remaining a New Zealand domiciled business. Minister for Broadcasting and Media Chris Farfoy has named a 9-member establishment board to spearhead the newly approved TVNZ RNZ entity. The creation of a single Crown entity containing both TVNZ and RNZ was approved by the government last month, and it plans to have it operational by July next year. The establishment board will oversee the detailed design of the new entity and the change required to create it, Farfoy said. The board includes 2 sitting chairs and a current board member from each of RNZ and TVNZ, and 4 former members of the Business Case Governance Group, which considered the viability and characteristics of a new public media entity. New Talisman Gold Mines Board has outlined a new strategic plan and a $3.5 million private placement of convertible notes to help fund it. The dual-listed company already has $1 million pledged and is seeking an additional $2.5 million pledged to the same mechanism, and has engaged advisors Campbell McPherson to seek eligible and wholesale investors, it said in a statement to the markets Friday. The strategic plan is aimed at recommencing underground activity at the Talisman Gold Mine in the Hauraki Gold Field, including developing a second egress from the mine, advancing the Mystery Vein, opening a second face on the Mystery Vein once the second egress is complete, and funding the implementation of a traffic management plan and a resource consent application for full mining consent. The full details of those stories and more are at nbr.co.nz right now. This Anzac weekend at NBR, Neville Gibson's book review on Sunday looks at the evolution of Anzac Day as the birth of 2 nations. While on Monday we profile private home care agency Miranda Smith Home Care, which is battling with staff shortages in the midst of soaring demand. I'm Paul Brennan. Have a great Anzac weekend. Goodbye.